So also knowing very little about Noam Chomsky, but I assume the man has to be 100% correct, because anytime you can get a good amount of people to actually listen to someone that's just so revoltingly boring, I'm thinking they must be onto something.
Yeah, I'm too dumb to like Noam Chomsky.
Definitely, that's the way I feel.
Yeah. I've tried and put him down. Here's the thing, though. All right. So I'm dumb enough to have tried and failed to learn what he's all about, but I'm smart enough to turn off X-Men Apocalypse. But I'm also dumb enough to try to start several times. This is a confusing Venn diagram. I shouldn't have used this as a visual aid.
It's a bad one. But we're recording, so anytime any of this is funny, you can all start laughing. Who cares?
Yeah, I've been waiting to laugh. This is hot garbage.
This sounds like shit. No one's gonna buy that.
Is it a hit?
Oh, welcome to another episode of Is It a Hit? Well, all of our fans at home, all those hipsters at home, get to tag along on this this little trip of ours to the number one spot on the Billboard Hot 100 singles list. I'm your host, Max, joined by my co-host, Pat.
Yep.
And the Rihanna of this podcast, the one who's making all those hits, is Nasty Nathan Sharp himself.
There it is.
There's a light rain and a heavy breeze. I'm trying to really get my vowels on the way she does. Anyway, stand under the umbrella with me, and let's weather this storm of inevitable money, adulation, and praise that will be coming by the basis of this really this divine process. This is brought down from this process was inscribed into stone by quite frankly, by Noam Chomsky.
Wow, the Noam Chomsky.
Listening. Yeah, the Noam Chomsky, and he caught up with some of those nerds at MIT and said, "Hey, shoot me up with a laser. I'm gonna try to inscribe a top hit making process into stone." Can't really do his vocal fry. Can't do Rihanna singing either. But you know what I can do? I can make you hits for money if you just give me a chance.
There it is.
All I need is
What's your vocal fry?
My vocal fry? It's gonna be hard to turn off. Oh
yeah.
My God,
there is
Max.
Yeah. I'd say there is something pleasurable about, like, it's almost like pop rocks on the back of your throat when you vocal fry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Soothing.
Yeah, there's a tactile sensation when you vocal fry that's very nice. That's almost exactly the opposite of what it sounds like to hear it. Like it's as pleasurable to do as it is displeasurable to hear.
You don't like hearing it? I'm a big fan.
I'm
just
not
the ending.
Wait, so
of people's
vocal
senses.
fry is when you hang on to like a word at the end and you kind of grumble through it at the end. Is that what that is?
Grumble through it.
Well, there's just it's kind of like pops a little bit.
Give a little bit of that.
Okay.
How about it?
Okay.
How about it, Max?
NPR does it a lot. A lot of the NPR announcers have vocal fry.
I think it's just the microphones are too close to their face.
Maybe, but I also think it's an affectation that for some reason this thing has become associated with intelligence. That's what I think. Yeah,
that does make a lot of sense. Far away from our microphones.
Yeah, and that's why we laugh like idiots all day.
You're not going to get that ASMR type intelligence from us.
Yeah, and we say things like X-Men Apocalypse was the best of the franchise.
Yeah. That's a tough one to agree with, but I'm going to have to agree with you just based on the formula we put forward. Yes, and that is a good movie. The thing I liked about it was the entirety of it because it's good. And I never started and stopped it several times.
I never liked that Hugh Jackman, so I'm glad he wasn't in that one.
Right. Yeah. They never did. You know what? It made me mad. They never did Sabretooth justice. I like Sabretooth in the comic. I like that he's like a bigger, meaner version of Wolverine.
Yeah,
but they never did that.
Would you watch that hour-long drama, Sabretooth Justice?
Sabretooth Justice? What's this?
Yeah,
that's a great
movie. You said Sabretooth. They never did Sabretooth Justice, so I was like, I'd watch that show.
Oh, it's just Sabretooth in the Yukon murdering like hobos and stuff.
I think he's like a public attorney or something.
So it's kind of like caveman, or caveman lawyer a little bit.
Unfrozen caveman lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's already been done. We don't need to do Sabretooth Justice.
But instead of
he's
like,
Supreme Court Justice.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, we did it same time, Pat. Oh,
yeah.
Great minds think something.
But he just goes feral sometimes, where he's just like, something becomes, it needs to be, judged upon on the federal level. Man, you can really tell that I do not know what they do.
Listen, he's just a single dad out there trying to give more power to multinational corporations through the law.
And
sometimes he goes feral and kills a bunch of people.
Sometimes he kills a bunch of people, to tip the scales.
If you will.
That's great.
That show sounds like a hit, but last week's song, not so much. I did really like it. I like the Church of Cinedyne, Cinedyne 5000. It was interesting hearing the what happens when there's I guess a loss of the gap between church and robotics. I guess what we want to say there.
Yeah, I mean it's the whole thing was wrong in the eyes of gods and man and the laws of robotics. So yeah, I'd agree. The thing that's great about this though is that we basically were the first people to hear the gospel of the cult of Cinedyne. We were always leaning towards creating our own religion, creating our own cult. This could be an excellent opportunity for us if we capitalize on the gospel of the Church of Cinedyne. So, or the cult of Cinedyne. I don't know. It'd be pretty cool to be a cult that actually acknowledges that it's a cult. Most cults, they're too cool to be a cult, right?
Yeah.
But like, imagine if we started a cult and we were like right on the face, bam, the cult of Cyberdyne.
Yeah. Hey, this is a cult. Are you feeling like you need acceptance from questionable sources?
Yeah.
Are you feeling empty inside? Are you hungry? Have you had a frozen waffle? Well, don't eat that frozen waffle just yet. We can fill you with something greater and more syrupy. We're talking about the words of Sinbot 5000, our eternal leader.
And we're entirely driven by the 7 deadly sins. We are the antithesis of any other religion.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Those the Satanists, they're really just about do whatever you want. The Satanists is really nihilism in disguise.
Yes, yeah, right.
You don't really see the Satanists like really go out there and just like be like, we're sin,
we're evil.
Yeah,
when you learn that there are Satanists when you're young, it's so exciting because it's like, oh, cool. There's villains, there's bad guys, there's super villains for this world. But then you find out that they're just kind of like nihilists and hedonists, and you're like, oh,
yeah, and they're all like sort of like
fine.
Like they smell and stuff a little bit too.
They're just kind of nerdy. Like they're not they're not badasses. They're not Skeletor in front of like an evil Skull Mountain hideout being like, take this, papists, you will die by my hand. Like there's nothing, they're just like, be cool, man, it's all right, whatever, we're just kind of contrarians. And you're just like, oh, you guys could be fucking cooler. You'd think that a group of people that were committed to Satan would be like a sexier group, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, like all the heavy metal bands. Like, look at any good heavy metal album cover. Folks, go Google images of, let's say, Man of War, Google some of those album covers, and you'll see a bunch of hot torso dudes in loincloths, and everyone's barely naked, and they're holding swords over like a pile, and those aren't even Satanists. They're just money-driven musicians. So what would a real Satanist, what would they be into?
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, fuck the Satanists. Let's take it a step further and say that we are actually the antithesis to Christianity. Christianity.
Oh boy.
They got their top 10. What's it called? The top 10 there. They get the late night top 10.
The 10 Commandments. They have.
Yeah. And so they have their 10 Commandments, and then they have their 7 deadly sins. Right? We swap them, and we're just like, our tenets of faith are like, hey, did you get your wrath out today? Did you lust for something that you needed? Like, you could easily turn all of these. It's like, if you don't, you'll just turn into an animal because you're ignoring what it is to be human. And it's like, how envious were you of those people that had more than you? And you're like, so envious. It's like, good.
Use it.
Acknowledge it. Let that guide you. You could easily turn the 7 deadly sins into a religious experience, and we will in the cult of Sinbot 5000.
Yep, buy our book.
Do you want to feel, I don't know, something other than empty or sad?
Hey, do you think you're a glutton? Well, feel bad about being a glutton no more, because now it's encouraged.
Yeah. Every
day. Has this ever happened to you?
I'm so tired of being told that my gluttonous ways are evil. He's like, have we got the group for you?
Hey, have you ever done nothing and felt bad about it? Well, you shouldn't feel bad because of sloth.
I feel like sloth and gluttony are really going to, like, at the beginning, we're probably going to get some hot, skinny jack dudes and some real, cool
jack dudes.
Yeah, like the skinny jack dudes, like Brad Pitt and Ed Norton in Fight Club. They're like skinny, but they're jacked. Right?
We'll get a bunch of wrath out. All they wanted, they were just in it for the wrath, and then they we get them to glutton out with all of us, and they start. But
this is the problem. It's like we're going to start off with like some big titty goth girlfriend types, and we're going to have like the skinny jacked, dudes showing up, and it's going to be very sexy for a while. But then sloth and gluttony are really going to tank the attractive level of the whole cult. So we really got to put these in order so that we can remain a sex cult for as long as possible.
Well, they say cleanliness is next to godliness, so there's no bathing. There can't be any bathing. Literally anything that anyone considers a quote unquote good thing to do, that's out. Like, it would be nice if you cut your toenails from now on again. Against the rules.
Yeah, no deal. You're going to scratch someone's thigh later.
I feel like we're going to start advertising for this cult and be like, all right, we're looking for people who embody the 7 deadly sins. We already got a good amount of gluttony and sloth. We could really use a little bit more envy, a little bit more pride.
A lot more lust. We really need a lot more lust.
When we first put this, pen to paper, we were expecting a lot more lust. It has not come to fruition.
Save our sex cult with your ass.
If you have any, newly divorced neighbors or anything that feeling a little lusty, you could really use them.
Have you all ever heard about like religions that just sort of the tenets of the faith make those religions die out? Like the Shakers, they're like, we don't reproduce, and then so there's no more Shakers around. I think you've hit upon the reason. I think this is like a Drake equation style reason for why real Satanists don't exist, is because I don't think you can manage. I do not think you can organize a group of these people long enough and have it become anything.
No, you know what you need to do is you need to have phases. You need to have cohorts. So you start in the hot, lusty, aggressive, wrathful stage, right? And you got all your hard body kids, right? And they're in one cohort, and that's like a general like same age group. And then eventually they're going to remember that, oh yeah, we need to glutton out every day, and we also need to, however long it takes to be slothful. If it's 8 hours to sleep at night, you need to be doing 8 hours a day. So it's like you're gonna get into that place where eventually that cohort is gonna fall, and they're gonna have to like commit most of their sins to gluttony, to sloth, right? And then their bodies are going to become soft and weak.
Ooh.
And then you're going to have to, yeah.
And then they'll envy the young.
Yes, and then they can fixate on envy, right? And that's good. But that's. I think that's what you need to do with that. Is you have cohorts. So the young, the young big titty goth girlfriend can bang the Brad Pitt type, or the. You know what? I would go Ed Norton in American History X over Ed Norton in Fight Club. I think he's a more attractive man in American History X.
Oh, I'm an Italian Job Norton fan myself.
Is that the one where he's acting impaired?
No, that's not
man.
that one. Italian Job is driving around cars, Pat. Not the one where he's acting impaired. But if that makes
what's the one where he's acting impaired? What is that one? It's got De Niro in it. It's got who's the guy? Marlon Brando.
Jesus, I don't. Godfather.
Oh yeah, it's Godfather. Yeah, it's Godfather 2, the one where they steal something from a art gallery vault by using water and explosives.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember him acting that way. I don't remember what movie that was, though.
The Score. It's called The Score. Yes.
What did he act impaired in that movie?
Yeah. The Score.
No.
Yes. The Score.
I've seen that movie. I don't remember that.
Ed Norton's character was the man on the inside. He was like his whole shtick was that he was like a janitor that people liked. But he was actually in real life, like the actual character was like total shitbag. But he had a walk that he had to do, a special walk, and he also had a weird talk that he did. It was I remember
grift.
Yeah, he acted impaired. Yeah, and then at the end, yeah, dude, I remember loving that movie as a child, but I wonder if it would hold up because nobody talks about The Score anymore. But I remember thinking, like, when I watched it, I remember thinking, like, this is a classic. I'm watching a classic in real time. And then fucking the whole world forgot about it.
Yeah. Well, I believe Angela Bassett is in that one too, right? I feel like that's a thing I remember. I don't remember it, but I remember the poster for it. Yeah, that's what I remember. So, what do we got this week, guys? One thing we do have is we have ourselves a big announcement. So we're at episode 15 now, and I think we're all excited about the future of this show, but we also are at a point where we need to take a little bit of a break. Isn't that right, guys?
Oh, yeah. We're thinking of doing things in seasons.
This would be
the finale of season 1.
We're not thinking about anything. This isn't a season. This is a fury drop. This is a listen. We've been cranking out hot hits for months now.
Yeah.
And we're
We're
waiting.
1/6 of the way to Smash Mouth.
The barrage of money. We're waiting on the coins, the rolls of coins that we need to hoist our Rihanna umbrellas up and protect ourselves from the world against.
Yeah. We're waiting for the big score.
Yeah. The dry season is done, people. It's time for the rainy season. You know what I mean?
Collect those dividend checks.
Collect those checks.
Yeah. Well, what we want to say is that we are going to take a little bit of a break, though. That's what we're trying to say here. We have some big life events going on, and I'm going to take a couple vacations. I don't know what Pat's gonna do, but I'm gonna
do this by myself.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna record. I don't have any recording equipment. You guys will be absent, but I mean, you know how like you kind of shadow box sometimes, or maybe you get up in front of a mirror and give us an important speech. I'm just going to do that when you guys are gone. So I'm just going to keep having these conversations, and we won't record them. But man, when you guys come back, you're going to be like, man, Pat hasn't lost it. He's still got. He laughs like an idiot very well. You guys are going to be so excited when you come back.
Keep sharpening those tools, Pat.
Oh yeah,
we don't want you to get rusty. But we're gonna take a couple months off.
We'll see
indeterminate amount of time. We'll see how it goes.
We have some projects going on in the interim, so you'll see smatterings. So keep subscribed. Keep getting ready for your smatterings. Keep taking those smatterings and opening your mouth for them for a nice cupcake. Of I don't know what's the flavor. What's the flavor that we're putting out here? Cinnamon? Is it cinnamon?
Buttercream? No, it's buttercream. Yeah.
Mm.
Hell yeah. The best.
Yeah.
Or
the lowest hanging fruit of the cupcake flavors.
You think so? I would take buttercream over just regular frosting any day.
Well, no, I'm saying it's something that like everyone likes. So that's what we want to put out because those are the hits.
What about cream cheese frosting? You like cream cheese frosting?
Yeah, but I mean, it's tougher to find, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, why is it tougher to find?
Frosting. Cream cheese-based frosting is just it's better.
It's just clearly better, and it's weird to me that people are just don't put it on everything. Like, why would you? If you have a choice to choose cream cheese frosting or just regular frosting, what are you guys doing?
Sauce. What are you picking?
These noodles are cooked to perfection, al dente. I love it. The garlic, amazing. You shaved it so thin it nearly dissolved in the frying pan. But the one strange part of the dish is that I noticed you replaced the Alfredo sauce with cream cheese frosting. Like, yeah, I like that. It's the best frosting.
Here at Chez du Paris, we do things a little differently.
Poorly,
yes. We do things a little poorly. All right. Well, so thinking about this break we got coming up, it made me think about things that we may have on our bucket list. You guys got anything on your bucket list that you're trying to get done before you kick the metaphorical bucket?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I did. While you're thinking about it, I did also just learn that phrase "bucket list." It's a pretty new phrase. It actually started with the movie Bucket List. Isn't that weird?
That is not
weird.
true.
That is
not
true.
What?
Yeah. It did not exist before the movie The Bucket List, from what I hear, from what I've read. I did research this.
Wow.
So, yeah. And the movie's only about 10 years old, and that's when it entered the lexicon was with that movie. So, fun fact.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm into that shit. That's cool. Because normally, bucket list has the way it sounds like it came around at the same time as like you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Like it sounds like it's like down on the farm colloquialisms from like the turn of the century, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it's contemporary at all. That's cool as shit, man.
Yeah.
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 Nate, you Googling this, Nate? Trying to see if it's right?
I mean, I was, and then I kind of grew tired of it. It's weird having you all on video because I can't just zone off and play Street Fighter. I have to like keep on looking.
Yeah. It is funny because I definitely like it when the light comes on, like when I'm making like a weird sentence, and when you see where I'm going with it, I do like seeing the like light turn on in your eyes and then being like, got him, he's there. Fucking yeah.
He's there.
Yeah.
He's alive. He's still with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys got anything that comes to mind of like, what's this thing you're going to try and do? And then it could be a thing that you're never going to do, but if you had the chance, you would really put forth the effort to go and try and do it.
I haven't accomplished much, but I don't have a huge bucket list. And I think I can only attribute that to just being kind of dumb and not very worldly. Like I just don't plan.
Okay.
But I would really like to go see the Colosseum. I think the Colosseum in Rome. I'm just super into that shit. I would really enjoy that.
Would you like to fight a beast inside of it?
I think that would be awful. So no.
You wouldn't want to master this beast?
No, I don't. I think I'm too old to be mastering beasts at this moment.
Yeah, you're not much of a master beaster anymore.
I used to master beasts daily, but I've really slowed down on how much I master beasts now. But Nate, you love Beastmaster.
I shouldn't say that I love Beastmaster, but I love the concept of Beastmaster. So between Hercules, Xena, and Beastmaster, like any normal person, I'm a Xena person. But between Hercules and Beastmaster, obviously Beastmaster wins.
You're a Beastmaster fan.
I'm a Beastmaster fan. Do you know why?
Why?
Beastmaster is harder show to watch. But I have family ties to the show Beastmaster. I have been, through family, not like actually, but like
my second cousin is the Beastmaster.
Yeah, my second cousin was the Black Tiger.
My second cousin had the courage of the eagle.
Okay, so for our listeners, give us a rundown of what Beastmaster is.
All right, so Beastmaster.
For our listeners, I definitely know what it is, but I want to hear you say it.
Beastmaster's a 1980-something movie about some hulked up dude who controls beasts and wears a loincloth. It's pretty much Conan the Barbarian, except like there's like black tigers and eagles and stuff. And then there's also a TV show. And so everyone knows the TV show's Hercules, The Legendary Journey, starring Kevin
Sorbo.
It sounds like a good flavor of ice cream for some kind of hardcore right-wing alternative to Ben and Jerry's. Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
But then we can have.
I noticed that you love all of his tweets. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you go on Twitter, you just see me. I don't even read them anymore. I just love Kevin Sorbo's tweets.
I do admit though that growing up, I watched a crap ton of Hercules with Kevin Sorbo.
Oh yeah,
and I do feel like it is a hurting my childhood. Where he is and where I am in our respective lives. Yeah, I don't think Kevin Sorbo and I would be friends.
No,
is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think you'd get along.
I think we would have been friends back when he was Hercules. I think we would have been tremendous friends, thick as thieves, the two of us. But I don't think we would be friends now.
You'd have been that regular guy that could do like cartwheels or whatever. I always forget that guy's name, but he's got like that like sidekick that can just kind of like do flips and shit.
Yeah,
it's his fantastic
So in all of these shows, there's beefy main character and less beefy sidekick. So Xena has her Gabrielle, Hercules has his cartwheel guy, and then the beefy Beastmaster is Dar, the Beastmaster, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's scantily clad, super rippled people running around on syndicated television in a Sunday afternoon, and it's like kind of like sad to watch because it's not good.
Dude, what do you think it's like to work on those shows? Because they have to know it's pure drivel. They have to know, and then they just have to be like, well, I don't want to think about that. Time to do some more pull-ups. Time to do some more push-ups. Take a little more PEDs.
Yeah, do you think it would be a major scandal if it turned out that Dar, the Beastmaster, was juicing?
No, I think that's how Hollywood gets so yoked.
They all juice. It's all
it's like there's no like, it's not like sporting events where like there's like there's like a committee that has to do that stuff. It's just like get as ripped as you can get because we want to make $10 million.
But why are we so mad that sporting athletes do that? But the people that we pay the most for their feats of strength, we don't allow PEDs. But for the people that we just really have in positions to make most of us just feel genuinely bad about ourselves, like the Dars of Beastmaster, we're like, go ahead, juice up, there, champ. Go ride a tiger.
You think it's because all of the historic icons of the sport, they didn't have the access to these PEDs. So like, oh, it's not fair. If we had access to them back then, we would have done them all, and all of our records would be still holding. Babe Ruth on steroids. Think about how many dingers that guy would have.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do think that there's something to be said about like history, but like, you can't compare old stuff. Like even without like the NCAA has worked really hard to try to make sure that like college sports are not like just like run amok with like performance enhancing drugs, but just by the nature of the sport. And like if you look at like old scores of football to like current scores of football now, the game's completely different. You know what I mean? It's just like you can find like box scores for football so far back that they didn't fucking have the forward pass. You know what I mean? Like the game is a different game. So like I do understand that concept of like comparing history, but like, man, it's changing so much without the drugs. Yeah. Who cares? Specifically professional sports. Like there's one thing to say like, okay, this is college. These kids shouldn't be ruining their bodies. But like, as soon as it's like, we gave that guy $5 million to be the best QB in the world. It's like, if I'm getting paid $5 million a year, you can bet that I'm going to try to stay doing that as long and be successful as I can, as long as I can. So it's like, like what wouldn't be on the table if that were the case?
Do you think that Adam West would be yoked out on steroids if it were available to him in the 1960s? Do you think he'd be would be, really abbed up under there?
Imagine this would be a funny idea.
Baby oil on Burt Ward.
Like imagine like the Christopher
Cesar
Nolan
Romero
Batman universe inside of so just aesthetics. So it's just what people look like, but the writing is exactly the same. Do the Christopher Nolan Batman universe inside the 60s like TV show camp. Like everything's the same. So like Christian Bale's just jacked as shit.
Onomatopoeia though is still showing on screen. We're still getting a lot of pows and bangs.
Yeah.
Okay.
But visually, they just look like the Joker's like a scary ass Heath Ledger, like and then like it's not Adam West. It's just a yoked fucking.
Pat, do your Joker impression again.
That was me trying to visualize that I was licking my lips.
That's what I was trying to do.
I thought you were just eating an old tomato.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were confusing the Joker and the Penguin.
No, first off, I didn't know I was going to be coming into this trying to do a Joker impression, but
always be ready.
No, I'm not an impressionist.
I'm impressionist. Nice. We should use that phrase more often. Okay, well, Pat wants to go to the Coliseum. That's a pretty good one. I think that's really interesting. Not one I would have guessed for you.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you have thought one of my bucket list items would be? Just venture one that you thought would make sense for me.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Just going to it? Just watching a Super Bowl?
Sure. The first thing I thought of was going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that would be fun.
I would need to, if the point of this was for me to guess what I thought your bucket list item was, I need to put more thought into it, because I'd have to get into your psyche and, think of myself as Pat. What would I do right now if I had all the resources in the world? But that's a good one though. I like that. That was unexpected. Yeah. Nate, you got any bucket list things?
I have lots of them.
Yeah.
So my first one, when I turn 40, I want to do 10 sets of squats at 400 pounds, and then 40 sets of squats at 100 pounds, or 40 reps of squats at 100 pounds, and then I want to rip a phone book in half. It's something that's, it sounds impressive, but it's like kind of doable. If I wait between them, especially, and then I'll be able to rip a phone book in half, and then people will be like,
400
"Wow,
pounds
what a
squat.
top-notch 40-year-old." so that there's that, and then as I've been stating a lot, I want to have a situation where I have like a future child, and I'm in a town where I don't live, and we walk. They're 10 years old, and they start. I'm like, hey, you're gonna act a little bratty in this store. You have my permission, and here's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna explain to them at the outset because we're both in on it. We're in on the grift.
Yeah,
The
and
this is like
Slam.
we're gonna.
This
go
is like
into-
your own version of the score.
No, it's my own version.
You're
of the
couple of
sting.
matchstick men.
We're matchstick men, exactly. We are matchstick men, Pat. We're not that filthy Edward Norton from that movie. We have standards. So here's what we do: we go into the store, and they start to act bratty. Maybe they're like, Dad, I want some candy. And I say, no, we have candy at home, but we don't, I'll say, no, we have chips at home, and they're like candy. Something like that.
Do you whisper this to onlookers?
Something where people still think that. Yeah.
You yell at your kid, like, we have candy at home. Then you turn sideways and like, we don't.
We don't have candy. And
It's a grift. We don't have any candy.
And then
Go with it.
the
Wink to all these onlookers.
kid starts really pouting, and I'll just be like, buck up, Elron, and I'll smack them on the arm lightly, not to raise any alarm from anyone, with a copy of the Scientology the classic Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard, and I'll smack it with them. And then they'll be like, I'm sorry, Dad, my thetans were just out of control. And I'll be like, I know, son, sometimes my thetans get out of control. And then I try to, ask the clerk behind the store if we both can get some candy bars, because our thetans are just running wild. And I think it could work.
Yeah. You'll weird out a bunch of people. No doubt.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, is to work with your daughter or son and weird out some strangers.
Just want to weird out some strangers.
You've been weirding out strangers for as long as I've known you.
Yeah, but this time I want to do it deliberately.
Yeah. But, that's what I'm saying. It's a time and tested tradition, in the old nasty Nathan Sharp family. So you might as well pass it on and make it, make it family time, man. I like this.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
It's wholesome family time. And here's
One
the best
time-
part: when I rip the phone book in half, then I give another phone book to a small child that's there, preferably like someone else's, just like 2-year-old, and I've already communicated with that person. They're a plant, but it's someone that I don't know. But we've worked things out, and I'm like, I'm gonna teach your 2-year-old how to rip apart a mini baby phone book.
Arguably more difficult.
I'll give one to them, and they'll rip it in half.
Your bucket list has a mini baby phone book in it.
Well, that's not part of the bucket list. That's sort of like a bonus bucket list. That's more of like a pale list.
Beyond the pale.
Beyond the pale.
Oh, Gaffigan. We could talk for days about him.
That's also just a phrase, though. Come on.
Oh, I just thought you were just referencing his special.
No, it's something. If something's beyond the pale, it's like bad. Well, maybe bad's probably not the right word. Let me look at what that phrase means.
Well, okay. Your bucket list is to grift with your kid.
Yeah,
That sounds fun.
Matt's.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It means that something's unacceptable.
That was a happy movie.
It was for a while. Yeah, it
I only saw
took
the
a little
first part.
turn. Oh, well, that was the happy part.
Great movie. Max,
Yeah.
what's on your bucket list? What would you like to do before the untimely
Demise.
Yeah, it's coming soon. I definitely want to see SNL live. That's the
That's a
big
good
one,
one.
I think.
Yeah.
I know that there's ways to do it where you camp out on the street and I think those days are behind me. We'll see. Maybe when I'm like, when the kids are out of the house, it's like, well, now I have this weekend free. Maybe I'll just go to New York and camp out on the street for hours on end, and with only the chance of it working successfully.
Oh,
but
here's what you do, Max.
What?
Turn this into a grift. You get your kids to camp out on the street for you. You can do this sooner rather than later.
Or get my kids to become famous. Or the richest person in the world.
Oh!
And then they can just buy their way onto SNL, which apparently works.
Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah. We should revisit our Elon Musk predictions, right? Because this is the first episode we're recording after the Elon Musk SNL episode. We did predict that there were going to be some sketches about a perfume called Elon's Musk.
Wait, there was?
No, there was not.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? There was? The John Hand?
We predicted one about space. There was kind of one about space. There was like a ripoff of The Martian, but with Chad. You guys know Chad, right?
Yeah.
The character. Yeah. So that was pretty good. There was one with that. There was no Bond villain sketch.
Yeah, he was Wario. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, it was. That one was kind of strange. And then there was Pat thought there was gonna be one about Asperger's, but I don't know if that counts as a success, Pat, because he just mentioned he had it. It wasn't a sketch though.
He was like, I'm the first person to host SNL that has Asperger's.
That's definitely not a sketch. That's the statement.
No, it's not a sketch.
Yeah,
but I fucking talked about how there was. I was like, look, they're going to talk about that shit.
But then he also said, well, at least the only one who will admit it.
Right.
Okay, so that's a joke about Asperger's. That's about him. Okay, we'll say we went 2 for 2 and 2. We went 2 for 4.
Yeah.
I think we did pretty well. I'm surprised we didn't say anything about cryptocurrency because that seemed to be all he talked about. But
yeah, that is weird.
Oh well. You guys collectively have any other bucket list things that you want to flesh out? Because we got to get it all out now. We won't have another chance to do this for a little while.
This is my only time to establish what I want to do before I die.
Oh yeah,
you're putting me on the spot right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm surprised you didn't say set up an inheritance for your kid or
I'll teach them the grift.
Oh, the grift, of course. Yes.
Teach them how to grift. Yeah. It's a Matchbox 20 type situation.
Matchbox Men 20. Yep.
Yeah.
Show a man a grift. He'll, exploit his kid for a day. Teach a man to grift.
The real world will stop hassling him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Nate, what do you think? You think you got enough?
I have nothing from this.
We talked about a cult. Are you kidding me? We got a cult?
We talked about a cult last time.
Sabertooth Justice.
We got Sabertooth Justice.
Sabertooth Justice. Great justice.
We talked about, first off, the cult one, we talked about how Satanists are not as cool as they sound.
Satanists are not as cool as they sound.
They sound so cool when you hear it. And they're nowhere near as cool as you think they are. So the expectation of what a Satanist is actually very different.
I have a theory here. This is a hypothesis, if you will.
Yeah.
Number one, all of the satanic panic in the 70s was right on. Because I really do believe that the 70s and 80s, Dungeons and Dragons definitely leads people into Satanism, 100%. But it just turns out that Satanism pretty much ends at Dungeons and Dragons. That's
just
all
being
it
a nerd.
actually is.
It's just being a nerd and being like, who cares? It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Do as thou wilt. Roll the dice, Play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. All
I
right.
think Aleister Crowley got so pale. He was just in the garage with Rivers Cuomo,
Yeah. They were playing D&D, talking about how, they wanted to be the Kiss.
So,
hell yeah.
Second part. Satanism, ergo, being so lame, that is a conspiracy on the part of big evangelical Christianity. to make
Go on.
being an evangelical Christian look way freaking cool by comparison.
But nobody's saying like evangelicals look cool. People are just like, yeah, it's not cool, it's not fun, but it's right.
Oh, are you
Like,
serious?
whereas-
They have like
Yeah.
root beer keg parties, they hang out. What are Satanists doing? Saying spells that don't work?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Evangelical, they know what it's all about. Going to bed early, ripping out some push-ups, succeeding, dominating the world.
Yeah, not showing off their shoulders for some reason.
Not showing their shoulders or their ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be chaste. They all want to be this is the thing. All the evangelicals, they watch Friday the 13th and they all want to be the final girl. They think that they're going to have like a half hour more screen time if they just, refuse
tie it up
to have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do the Satanists want to be? Do they want to be Freddy or in Friday the 13th?
No. Well, the Satanists
Chucky.
Yeah, the Satanists want to be the bad guy. They want to be the big bad guy. They like the attention and the pageantry of like the psycho killer concept or the evil monster thing. But you know what they really are? Is they're the nerd that dies immediately to show you the stakes. That you really don't know anything beyond his like what his get up. So it's like some nerdy dude that's just like, well, I'll make sure that the back door's locked, and then he just never comes back. That's who they really are, is the nerd.
Yeah, because there's a morality to horror movies. So you got to kill off the Satanist relatively early.
Only
the
lame.
chaste will survive. Well,
nobody wants to fucking follow the lame guy. You know what I mean? Like no one wants to like follow around the guy that's like, oh, they should have. If they use some like saran wrap on these brochets, then it's gonna be. There's nobody wants to do that shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's fine.
Tell us more about saran wrapping brochets.
I don't know what most of this means. Baking. I was trying to do a thing on baking. I'll cut this all out. It's fine. But yeah, you don't want a guy that's just like a nerdy dude that's just like completely focused on the rules, being like, now, you can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Can I talk about the rules for a second? Because this infuriates me. So when I was first introduced to the concept of Dungeons and Dragons as a second grader, I distinctly remember that it was just one of your friends would come up with imaginary situations and you would talk your imaginary way out of them. And that was the thing. That was all it was. It was nonsense, no rules. All of a sudden, Dungeons and Dragons has turned into slowly rolling the dice and progressing through goblins and rules and levels. And there's no Beastmasters. I can't just be a Beastmaster.
Just homebrew it, dog.
A wizard or a paladin or a warlock. No, I'm a Beastmaster. I have the courage of the eagle. I'm a level 7. It's a good number, a holy number. I'm walking the divine path. The Beastmaster path. So
that's what this song's going to be about?
It could be.
Seems like this is going to be a Beastmaster song. The finale of season 1.
And you know what? That's okay, because this should be a gift that we're giving to Nate. We're giving Nate as much freedom as he wants with this song. We talked. That's actually why I made sure that we talked about Beastmaster, because I know you love Beastmaster, man, and I know deep down in your heart you got yourself a Beastmaster song deep inside you, and it's just rip roaring to get out.
I got it deep, and I've hopped into. We've talked about what type of families we are. We're this family. We're that family. Well, listen, I'm married into a Beastmaster family. So I'm a Beastmaster man.
Beastmaster-in-law.
You're a good man.
Beastmaster-in-law.
Man, one time when I was out shopping with my dad, this was as an adult, we were picking up toys for my nieces, and we were at like a Target in Cleveland, and we were trying to pick up these toys, and I didn't know that Nerf had fucking like swords and axes now, and they look fucking awesome. Like I would have loved to have them as a kid. They look sweet as shit. And so my dad is checking this one aisle. I was checking another aisle. I come back to him. I got nothing. And he's He's standing looking near all these Nerf things, looking at all these different things. There's a woman that works for Target, like right next to him. And I just walk up, and she, we see each other, and the lady gives me space so I can come up. My dad's just standing there, and I'm standing there kind of looking next to him. And then I pick up one of the swords, the Nerf swords, and then I smack my dad across the face with it. And I say, "Take that, stranger!" And then, and then he grabbed an axe, and then we started wrestling, and we like hit the aisle, and it was like it like shook the whole thing. And the lady that was working there was just so afraid that like two giant men just started fighting in the aisle, and then we just started laughing, we just started howling, and God, I loved that. So yeah, Weird Not Strangers is sweet, but I really love the phrase "Take that, stranger." Like, what a descriptive phrase.
I'd love to acquaintance.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff you get to look forward to, with your children.
Really good to look forward. I mean, I'm disappointed that you didn't milk this into a larger grift. That there wasn't a there wasn't a payoff at the end.
We beat the shit out of that old lady.
Just took the register and ran.
We saw her. She looked scared. We thought she was going to call the cops, so we pounced on her. We
grifted her.
Yeah, the classic beat up an old woman grift, and then we just ran. Not far. We got bad knees.
This would be the point in the movie where it freeze frames. It's like da 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 da.
That would be just a great concept for a movie. Someone that doesn't understand what a grift is, and they think that it's just, they think that it's just standard, like it's just regular crime, and it's like, oh, I'm doing a great grift. Look, I'm doing a 75 and a 65.
I think what we're talking about though is like an internet thing where people just walk up to people and like throw a bag of flour in their face, and they're just like, "Oh, gotcha!"
Oh, antiquing, dude. Have you ever been antiqued?
What is antiquing?
No, what I just said, where you just smack someone with flour, and then they look like they're old, and they look like they're an antique.
Oh, I've been antiqued.
You've been antiqued.
I've been antiqued.
Yeah. Did you nerf them? Did you grift them?
No, if you fall asleep, I mean, it's the standard, you fall asleep at a slumber party thing, at a sleepover thing, and you just get hit in the face with a ball of flour. It's moderately inconvenient.
My friends always use baking soda.
Really?
No, they didn't. I was trying to think of something that was
soda and vinegar,
more corrosive. Yeah, they were all nerds. They were really good at the science fair, though.
Yeah, those videos are insane, where people just do things that for the most part you would get. Have you ever seen the ones where people they'll dress up in a Mortal Kombat costume and just come on into the elevator looking like Sub-Zero, ready to fight people, and it just horrifies people? Yeah,
that sounds awful.
I know, it's not even part of a grift. It's like, oh, look, there's the camera. It's just amateurs doing candid camera and putting themselves into dangerous situations where you're liable to get roundhouse kicked in the face.
There's a lot of things like that where, like even in Jackass, like I would watch that show and be like, I don't like how mean they're being to like strangers. Like one of the bits that they did on Jackass was like they were riding a bike with a fake baby in the back, and then they would just wipe out. And then the joke was that strangers cared about a baby's well-being. Because there wasn't a time where people just would rush and be like, "Oh my God, is that baby okay?" Like what a fucking idiot. These people, these people care about a baby. Idiots.
I did like the ones where the guy would put the baby carrier on top of the car and then drive away. I don't know. Those were the same vein, same joke, but yeah. In hindsight, it's like, yeah, those people are just being nice.
Yeah.
Why are we laughing at them for like having a conscience?
It's like the villain in it's the villain in the animal movies. Just a rational adult. Like we're like the butt of the joke, and they're just like they care. They're just good people. That's not bad. That's not good. That's not what we should be doing. That's why I liked Wild Boys a lot. I like Wild Boys because there's no like they're the victims of their own like stupid decisions.
Yeah,
so I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Nate. What do you think? You think you got enough stuff here? I know it's not much, but
I think
you've made more songs out of less.
Yeah, I think I've got plenty to work with here. I don't know how this is gonna go, but we'll take a look-see and we'll see.
All right, we'll give you.
You could write a song about Saran wrapping the bruschettes. That way I couldn't. That way I couldn't cut it out.
I'm not 100% convinced that I know what a bruschette is, or
I don't think a bruschette's a thing.
It's a real thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think I just said fake words. I grasped for something.
Pat's D&D and again saying fake words.
So bruschetta is a thing?
Yeah.
I don't think bruschette is a thing.
Yeah. Well, it is now. It's in the lexicon now. Pat, how much time should we give Nate in this song? 8 minutes?
How long can the song be?
No, how much time should we give him to write this song?
Oh yeah. Let's give him 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, Nate, I'm setting a timer. And go. All right. Well, we will talk to everyone in about 5 to 10 minutes after this.
Getting to watch you eat this tepid tuna salad is pretty awesome.
All right, dog.
You ever done hot tuna salad?
It's fucking disgusting. Ugh.
Like a casserole, like a tuna casserole.
But it's just the same ingredients, but you put it under the broiler for 20 minutes.
You broil something for 20 minutes? Are you insane?
That's nasty. You can't be
Jesus
broiling
fucking
like
Christ,
that.
Pat. Do you even know how to cook? Oh my God.
This is another example of me making up shit on the fly.
Yeah, like I smoke this brisket at 375 for 4 hours.
That's how
Shut
you do
up,
it.
Pat.
You gotta saran wrap the bidets.
You're greased and you're ready. They've always called you a machine. You're a hellscape to face. You'll never know just what they mean.
And we're back. Guys, I just took like 48 ounces of Diet Coke and I chugged it down. I'm excited. More excited than the first part because I want to hear this song. What did we talk about? I got Bucket List. I got Griffs. I got D&D. I got Satanists. Sabertooth Justice. Pat, what else did I miss?
Plastic wrapping bidets or beignets or whatever I said. Ram Bam Rochers. What else did we have? We had
Vocal Fry, Chomsky, Rihanna.
Yeah, we're not smart enough to know who Noam Chomsky is or what he is professing. We just know that smart people like him. We got every evangelical is doing their best to be the last girl in a thing. We had a cult. We talked about the tenets of our cult, right? So we said that we were going to do, instead of fixating on the 10 Commandments, we were going to focus our religion on the 7 deadly sins. So, and I think we've only mentioned 6. I didn't count, but I don't think we've got them all out there.
I think we got them all at some point or another.
Maybe.
I wrote them down. Here, I can just say them all real fast. Envy, sloth, greed, wrath, gluttony, pride, lust. There, we're done. We got them all.
You got to have pride in that. You got to take pride.
Yep, and being able to read 7 words somewhat rapidly.
Well, we all know I hate reading, so no deal. No thanks.
Yeah, reading's for squares.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah.
We talked about bucket list stuff?
Yep. A little bit of that. Pat, what do you think the song's going to be about?
I'm really hoping that this is a tour de force of rock, prog rock Satanism. That's what I'm guessing. Like the real Satan, not like this fucking nerdcore shit. We're talking like fucking the 7 deadly sins for real, not some fucking I think nothing matters and I like to follow my impulses and feel good like some fucking nihilistic hedonist. It's like, get out of here. Everybody wants to do those things. That's how everybody feels. Nihilists think they're so special. Nothing matters. Shut up.
I think if you gave a Mormon one cool day to do whatever they want and feel good, they would. It's like the Amish Rumspringa thing. Like they go harder than the Satanists ever could.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. The repressed people do the weirdest shit. They go harder than ever. So yeah, no.
In my research, I've noticed the repressed people do the hardest stuff.
I almost doubled down and said that this was going to be another heavy maraca-based song, but I think that's a wild card. I think that's a long shot, so I'll hold off on that. I'm going to say 0 maracas.
Okay. I think it's going to be about getting jacked. Nate's talked a couple times about having goals to, complete when he turns 40, ripping phone books, bunch of squats. Yeah. I think he's going to channel his inner bucket list and talk about that for some reason.
I like how he said like 400. He wants to squat 400 pounds. Like 400 pounds is a lot to squat. That's an entirely manageable amount to squat.
It's a manageable amount. That's what makes it great. It sounds good, but it's manageable.
It's just
like I can do that now. It's fine. It's manageable.
Oh man. Okay. I'm just saying. It just doesn't seem like
whatever.
If you didn't know anything about lifting weights,
I'm not a 300-pound man, Pat. I don't have the power. I'm a ganky, gangly man.
I haven't squatted since college.
I was born to be a beanpole. Anything is a success.
I'm never gonna. If ever in my life again, after having to go through college foot, I don't think I'm ever gonna squat again if I don't have to. If there has to be some serious stakes before someone's like, Pat, get under that squat bar and lift that weight. I'd be like, I don't know. Like your family might die. But how many of them? I need some serious stakes before I squat again.
We left your dog in a hot car and it won't unlock until you do a squat.
I was like, I'll just break the door open. I'll be fine.
You don't know where the car is.
I'll just keep breaking car doors open until I find them.
It's on the roof of this. Oh crap! I told you where it is.
And I'll be like, I gotta go upstairs.
All right, I'll squat.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, all right. Any styles of music you think this is?
Let's think. He said Manowar. I don't know if I've never listened to Manowar. I'm really put off by their
Pat, you suck.
by the imagery of their album covers. It's just like, I mean, it's just like, it's almost a fantasy novel that's a porn. Like that's what all their covers look like. So I assume it's going to sound like that, but I've never heard them. So I'm just going to say Manowar.
I think it's going to be a piano song.
you keep going with these really safe bets.
I don't know what to think, but I'm thinking there'd be some piano, maybe a robot talking. What else?
0 maracas.
0 maracas.
0 heavy metal.
Yeah, I think it's. But I hope it's an experimental track like Fantastic Bird Boy.
I hope he strains his voice. I hope that he sings from his balls. You know what I'm talking about?
Deep in the core.
Yeah, like really gets it out of him. It emotes. Makes me awakens something in me.
All right, Nate, you ready to burst some blood vessels?
I'm ready to burst some blood vessels. I'll plug you into this thing. Let me know if you don't hear it. Use hand signals because I won't
say
be
the
able
name
to
of the
hear
song.
Or maybe I will.
Too.
I can't remember how it goes.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song?
The name of this song is what is it? Real Life Beastmaster.
Oh, we didn't talk about Beastmaster. Fuck.
Almost had it.
Oh my god, I'm like a level 7 Beastmaster. This is no roleplay. No dragon heart crap. This is the real world. And the zoo's my dungeon map. I'm a real-life Beastmaster. And exhibits casting spells. Commanding all the animals. Brought by Satan, sent from hell. Real life Beastmaster. Real life Beastmaster. I need the courage of the eagle, the power of the tiger, abs like a washboard, man meat to desire. To be a master of the beasts, I'll need a little boost. Just a little pick-me-up, just a little juice. Beastmaster workout, swinging from the trees. Hot man in the jungle, lifting at the knees. Beastmaster workout, strong pecs and trunk. Hot man in the jungle, loincloth hides the junk. Nighttime in the lion cage, but they don't pay the rent. I ride them for the Dark Lord. I'm heaven-bound, hell-sent. Ride my prettiest ride! Screw the jungle, let's go to town. I look and feel so good, I may just cruise around. Let's go to the bars, let's get into fights. We're syndicated for Sundays, but for now it's Friday night. Beastmaster workout. With my ferrets, I'm not alone. And never underestimate the allure of shiny stones. It's a Beastmaster workout, and my chops are like a knife. And it feels so freaking good to be doing it in real life. Hit it. Master of Beasts. Master of Beasts.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, man. I knew I was excited for a reason, and this is why. Because, Nate, you've done it. You've tapped into my middle school and high school psyche, and you made a damn Tenacious D song.
Yeah. We've been waiting for it for a while.
Oh.
We've all been thinking it. We've all been thinking it. We've all been wondering when will we, we can't push him off. You can't push him out of the nest on it. You can't do it. We can't push him. He's got to jump out of the nest himself, right? If he really wants to fly. And I think this is a good way to go down. This is smart. I liked this. It was funny. It was engaging. It was catchy. You had some samples in there. It was a little grungy. You had some falsetto. I'm into it.
Yeah. Yeah, this fits so well with what would be an episode of like the Tenacious D show where, they have a little aside for 3 or 4 minutes to do a song about about a character, and the Beastmaster is a character. He's the guy at the bar that gets in fights, maybe. And what's his backstory? I'm the Beastmaster, and we just go into that and be like, oh, that's great. I don't think we really needed all that backstory, but here we are.
Yeah, and they never talk to him again.
Yeah, exactly.
They just pass him.
Yeah, it's a song that Jack Black wrote 15 years before this. They were filming this, and he's like, guys, I have a song that we could use here, but it doesn't do anything for the plot, Jack. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm eccentric. Yeah. Yeah, you need your own version of a Kamina Yeha. You need your own Shamona. I think, as we come to the conclusion of episode 15, the finale of season 1, I think if we can come away with something that is, maybe even just as we move forward, give that a thought. You need your own version of a Shamona. Give some thought. It's like your own stamp in those songs.
Unless you can think of one right now.
I mean, well, there's Shimobar, Mobar, Shimobar, Shimobar.
Perfect.
Shimobar. Okay, I like Shimobar. That's funny.
Yeah. What else do you like about this song, Pat?
You know what? This is a really specific thing. I'm going to ask you if you meant to do this on purpose. There was a moment there where the pianos started to crescendo, and I thought that we had a Layla ending. Eric Clapton's Layla. I thought we were going to have a long, extended piano outro ending, and then you just cut it and went right back to it. I thought that was hilarious. Did you mean to do that?
That was so. I mixed this up. Like I was like, oh, let me run it through to the other recorder and mix it on the faders. So I was like, oh, okay, let me fade these down. And then on one of the vocal tracks, it accidentally said hit it. So I was like, ooh, then you got to turn it up when the guy says hit it. You got to,
I liked it. That was good. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I was envisioning, again, my mind was just thinking about Tenacious D. And that was the part where, you learn more about the Beastmaster character. That's what I thought the outro was going to be like. He goes into his cave and then there's his wife and kids and they're bugging him and, honey, I'm just trying to live my life as a Beastmaster. Why are you trying to keep me in this cave? But then he kicked back into it.
Yeah. I could see some of our Synodine or Sinbot 5000 cultists singing a choir to the I don't know if that you can call it a chorus, but there's a few breakdowns where you're doing a choral version of Beastmaster, and I gotta listen to those again. Those perked me up, and I listened more. But I don't know how much I enjoyed the progression. But I gotta hear it again. But I could see this is the thing: it is funny. It is funny, and if it paired with some visuals, like imagine some Cult of Sinbot 5000 guys dressed in red and black in hoods, going. I could see that working. I could see that being funny.
Any lyrics that you like, Pat?
You talked about juicing. I like that. We talked about PEDs. That's good. You also talked about mastering beasts. There was a far too long of a stretch of jokes that I did on mastering beasts. So I'm glad you threw that in there. You also talked about D&D. I like that. Yeah. That's anything that I'm missing there, Max?
I like the line "man meat to desire." I wrote that one down.
Yep. We talked, and we also talked about how jacked he is. The beefy dude with his. The only thing we didn't get was the less beefy counterpart. The guy who's just doing fucking cartwheels.
Yeah, the Gabrielle to his Xena.
Yeah.
Oh man! Oh wait, is Kevin Sorbo going to be this iteration of the Beastmaster? Are we going to try and target that audience?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, who's more popular than Kevin Sorbo at this moment? Right, a failed actor with very extreme political views. Nate, you've always liked that guy, right?
I'm a child. Listen. So I used to watch both Hercules, but not more importantly, The New Adventures of Superman, Lois and Clark, starring Dean Cain. And to hear that both of them have gone a little off their rocker in their later years has been not really devastating because honestly, I really didn't care that much, but hilarious.
Man, talk about a fucking letdown. That show, I forgot about Lois and Clark. What a fucking awful show.
America loved that show. That show was so popular.
And it's stupid as shit because it's like, oh, we have a man that's indestructible. He can fly as fast. He's got all the superpowers, and then we just have a rom-com. Like, it's just fucking awful. It's like campy and shitty, and what's her name's hot as hell though. Who's the actress?
You're talking about Terry Hatcher. Well, I was more of an early edition man, which had a guy that looked a lot like Dean Cain, but it wasn't
Kyle
Dean
Chandler.
Cain. Yeah, there you go.
That's a guy who he pops up all the time, and he looks the exact same as he did back then. I mean, he was in that show Bloodline. He was in Friday Night Lights. What did I just see him? Oh, I watched that King Kong movie. He's in that. Looks the exact same.
Hey, is he the kid of the guy in Jackie Brown, the old guy? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Are you talking about Harvey Keitel?
No. The he plays Max Cherry. He just passed away. He's in Breaking Bad. He's the guy that you go to get your, to move forever.
Yeah, and he's inexplicably attractive in Jackie Brown. But he's like, it's like, why does she find him attractive?
Yeah. Oh crap! What's that guy's name? I got to look it up because he's one of them. It's Robert.
Well, that's all right.
I'm gonna do it.
I can cut this up.
Rabid old guy in Jackie Brown fans.
It's Robert Forster. He just passed away last year. He's a great actor.
So he's not the dad of the Dean Cain lookalike from.
No.
Okay. Well, there you go.
More
importantly, going back to Beastmaster. I really want to watch. So I've been watching promos. You can find on YouTube just the promos for the beginning of Beastmaster. And here's the thing: when you watch the promos for the beginning of Hercules and Xena, there's enough nuance to the plot that you don't get the entire episode. But with Beastmaster, you understand everything that will happen in the episode, bar none. They explain it very clearly and simply, and you get everything except for the quick conflict resolution in the last 5 minutes. And that's all that matters.
And this was an hour-long show?
An hour-long show. And so my wife, she used to always tell me she remembered one bit from Beastmaster, and that was someone saying, never underestimate the allure of shiny stones. Shiny rocks. And I found the episode that it is, but I haven't found the means to actually watch that episode yet.
We'll put it in. You'll probably cut it into the song at some point.
Oh, it's in the song. It's already in the song. Yeah. Oh, because he has ferrets, so he's not alone as long as he has his ferrets. He keeps ferrets in his pouch. That's a good animal to be the master of. And never.
Wait, are those the beasts?
The allure of shiny stones. Well, he also has a tiger that he rides, or it's like his friend. I guess he doesn't ride it. He's very kind to the animals. Dar.
That's hilarious.
All right. Yeah. Well, do we got anything else we want to talk about before we close it out?
I think that was a great job. I like that. That was fun.
Oh wait, of course. It's a hit.
It's a hit.
It's a hit.
I agree. You can't put a Tenacious D song in front of me and expect it not to be a hit in my eyes.
Yeah. I think that's the best.
I got hit.
Yeah. I mean, you've had some songs, they're funny and they're odd and they're different. And I think this is the best example of, like you almost had like legit guitar in there. Like what did you do there? That was fucking a good job. Like,
do you want to know how this all was actually? Are you talking about the guitar solo? That was just me trying to play a guitar solo very quickly and being like, it's fine.
You know what though?
But the rest of it is weird. The rest of it is I won't get into how the sample worked, but it's a strange process.
Yeah, tell me.
All right, so I hold up my phone to it to do the sample, but I have to hold it down, the button down on my phone to record a sample. So I have to strum the guitar with the phone, and then you have to cut it so that it's like weird. But because the microphone is right up next to the guitar when it goes, it automatically distorts itself because it like the recording clips or it's weird. I don't know how it works. And then you just chop those all together and put it there. And then it's like all the drums and stuff. It's just me going all that, you know, and then you chop all that up and then you put it around.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That seems like it's real intense, dude.
No, it's real quick. And plus, then you don't have to worry about anyone else's drum sounds. Have you ever downloaded drum sounds and tried to use them? They're all terrible and stupid. You're like, oh, the snare sounds good, but your hi-hat sounds like garbage. But this is a package deal, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants that?
No, hey. I thought it was, that's cool. There's a lot going on. You also had some deep harmonies. You had like some like growly voice in there.
Oh yeah, that's using the Octaver, you know, the digital dealy. You know,
I was on the lookout for vocal fry.
Oh yeah,
at the beginning there was one,
think
right?
of that.
Yeah.
As we were talking, as the song was starting, I was just like, "Oh, I'm a level 7 Beastmaster."
That's good. All right, but yeah, okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. How about it?
All right. Well, once again, as I stated before the break, we are going to take a little bit of a hiatus. Not really sure how long it's going to be. Nate, how do you feel about this hiatus?
I feel great about a hiatus. Do you know why? That means we can do things at our own pace. I can take a little while. I can take longer than 3 days to put something together if I ever need to.
No. Good songs are written in 3 days.
Good songs are written in
under
3
pressure,
days.
we've noticed.
Yeah, we found that out. You need pressure. You won't get it done.
It's
Yep.
true. Well, here's the thing. I don't plan on getting anything done.
Yeah. Why would you?
Why would
What's
I?
the need?
It's ridiculous. I've noticed that the less I do, the more daunting the world seems. So back when I was just trying to fit everything in, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting this. And now like I've started to trim things out of my life and I'm like,
Well, it's like the checklist mentality. You're getting things checked off by doing a lot of stuff, so it feels like you're in control when you're really not.
yeah.
No one
Turns
is in
out
control.
I'm far out of control.
Yeah. I'm the captain now. I just wanted to say that it doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
Max is the captain now, guys.
Max is the captain now.
He's always been the captain of this ship. I want to say, hey, Max, you're doing a great job redirecting us. This has been because we get real weird and dumb, and Max always like a rubber band pulls us back right into the pocket. You know how rubber bands pull things into pockets.
Yeah. I'm here to make sure that no one has too much fun. We have too much fun, then the listeners aren't having quite as much fun. So I got to bring it back. Make sure that everyone's having fun. It's like Satan's Metachlorians levels. We got to make sure they balance each other out. I think that's what you're saying. But yes. Well, thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. And you know what, Pat? You've also done a great job. Pat's taken a lot of the editing duties on. That's been great. Pat lets the nation know when to laugh. Pat's laugh has become infectious. I heard it sampled in a new Lil Uzi Vert song.
Yeah.
Pat's laugh is just sweeping the nation. It's great. It's infectious. So we appreciate you, Pat.
Well, thanks, man. No,
Nate, you do good too.
All right.
You remember what we talked about? If we give an artist too much control, it turns into shit. Remember, right? This whole thing is an extrapolation of the peer editing review process taken to extremes, right? And the whole thing is we can't let artists run wild or things turn bad. We gotta take those rough gems and polish them and hone them, and we gotta focus their direction. So
never underestimate the allure of a polished, shiny stone.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, we also want to thank Nate. Nate's done a great job this year, man. This podcast would not exist if it wasn't for him. It'd just be Pat and I talking, and that gets bored pretty quick. But Nate puts his own little his unique spin on things, and it's as long as I've known Nate, that's how it's been with him, and it's always fantastic.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We're talking like we're all gonna die, and it's not just like, oh, in a few weeks we'll come out with more and there'll be interim content in between. This is dumb. Listen,
I believe
we're taking
it's
the good
right,
things
yeah.
and
It
we're
is dumb.
recording an album. Slowly, because who cares?
We're gonna go on tour.
We're going on tour.
Yeah, we're gonna go on tour.
Getting
We're
a
gonna
van.
make 85 songs, and we're gonna shove it in Smash Mouth's fucking face.
We're going to play every county
25
fair
years
until we
ago.
hit those state fairs that they're at. That's what we're doing.
We're coming for your. Yeah, we're not gonna become superstars. We're just gonna kick. We're gonna occupy the space that that Smash Mouth currently occupies. We're gonna take over state fairs and run them out of town.
Somebody once told me, you are no match for a level 7 Beastmaster with a stomach full of funnel cakes.
That's right. You might as well be. There's a Beastmaster reference in there. Yeah.
I did have a goal for this podcast that we would try to get paid by someone we didn't know for something. But now I think my goal is to try and open for Smash Mouth at a state fair.
That's a good role. Well, we just need to cram. Look, we were talking about what makes a hit. I think we're getting closer and closer. Musically, Nate's getting better and better at producing himself. He's getting better and better at honing in on the hot topics that we provide. And he's also just becoming a better musician technically. And, these things are all important. But also, more importantly, he's found his calling card, Shamobar.
Bar.
And if Shamobar is all we leave season 1 with, that's okay. We're on our way. All the best fucking singers, they have a weird calling card. And Nate, you found yours.
DJ Khaled. Shamobar.
Well, on that note, let's say that we are going to try and do some stuff over the summer. We're not sure what that is yet. So if anyone wants to leave us a voicemail suggestion with just anything, any content, we just want some content. We want to make fun of you or praise you for your what you bring to the table. Just give us a call, 707-780-2448. Maybe Nate has a jingle.
707-7802. Hits. I don't even know how that one would go. Hits.
Fantastic.
Hits.
Well, all you hitsters, let us know what you think. Let us know if you want us to not take this hiatus, because we'll just get back on if one person calls and tells us to. You got nothing else going on. This is more just just taking a nap or something. So, no harm if we get called back to duty.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys, before we sign off?
No, I've had a ton of fun. This is awesome.
Tons of fun.
Look forward to season 2.
Yeah, season 2. 6 seasons in a movie, right, guys?
That's right.
That's right.
That's what they say about us.
And a
All
season 1.5 and a couple albums and
What's 6 times 15,
a
Max?
belly full of
Oh,
Verners.
90.
6 times 15 is 90. And you know what that beats?
Beats
Smash
fucking
Mouth.
Smash Mouth. That's how
Yeah.
about it.
Hell yeah. We're coming for you, Smash Mouth.
Coming for it.
That state fair is ours.
Fucking
You're
ours.
on notice, brother.
Me and that guy from Hootie and the Blowfish, we're gonna come on in there. We're gonna tear down your amps. We are gonna rip out all your 1/4-inch cables, and we are gonna shove them up your noses so far that all those songs tap right out of your brain and into our pocketbooks. You hear me? This is Nasty Nathan Sharp, and me and Darius Rucker are coming for you and all the state fairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
something
we're going
like
to
that.
replace all your 1/4-inch cables with 1/4-inch cables that work sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, the ones because you don't want to get rid of them because they're not bad, but sometimes they just kind of make that weird high-pitched whiny noise. And you're like, why is it making this noise? Like, oh, it's a bad cable. But you won't throw it out. You just put it in the pile, and then you use it again
I'll fix it later, but you can't figure out what's wrong.
Man, Darius Rucker is such a great name for a wrestler. Why did he use that name as a singer?
Well, he used Hootie and the Blowfish for the longest time. So obviously he was banking on the wrestling career, and then he had to, fall back into singing about letting the lady cry.
And holding her hand.
Holding her hand.
Dude, Cracked Rear View? Oh, man, we got to wait for season 2 for that.
We got to wait for season 2. Season 2, we just played cassette tapes of our favorite
Hootie and the Blowfish
albums.
Stay tuned, hipsters, for that. You're going to love that. All right. Well, have a great summer, everyone, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
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 Wow, what a world. Oh, yeah. I've been watching Battlestar Galactica a lot. And
all the Sinbot talk?
Oh, the Sinbot talk, right? And now they're getting to the point, like, they're having this talk where like the dad commanders like to his son, you know, who's the other like younger ship captain, and he's like, "You're really letting yourself go there, son." He's like, "I can't believe he said I was letting himself go." And the guy's like chowing down snacks, and I've been feeling like him recently. I've just been like, yeah, let me just chow down. I've been eating a lot of frozen waffles.
Are they still frozen when you eat them?
Yeah, that's what makes it really
Holy shit.
Really letting yourself
Are you fucking them with me right now?
Yeah, I'm fucking with you. I put them in the toaster.
Okay, good.
Put some butter.
Yeah, good.
On them.
Yeah. I was gonna be like, man, eating those fucking, that's like, you're a full fucking animal if you're eating frozen.
Right. Yeah.
No toasting.
No toast.
Like, I don't deserve to toast these.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I won't get that. I like that.
I'm not concerned with these beasts. I'm a beast master. I learned how to vocal
Is that your
fry.
character?
I learned how to vocal fry this weekend, and
no, you're not even doing it enough. There it is.
I love
there it is.
Vocal frying and being the master of all beasts. I have the strength of the black tiger and the courage of the eagle, and I have dominion over all beasts in all the land, in an age of sorcery and fantasy and magic.
You just gave us the full intro.
Experience the Beastmaster.